In the name of all good things, let us begin with Sister Karla.
Clap, clap, clap.
I don't know if you should do that first. Can you hear me? Am I okay? All right. In 1952, a very shy young woman who grew up on a farm and had graduated from college with a degree in music education answered the call to become a Dominican sister. I want you to be aware of the words farm, music, and call. I was the last of 8 children in our family, and living on a farm, I of course went to a one-room grade school. At the highest, there were 13 in the school at one time.
Wow.
I was the only one in my grade till 4th grade. One other girl joined me in 4th grade, and in 8th grade there were 4 girls. My music education started in 5th grade when our teacher taught the whole school how to play the tonette. Do you know what a tonette is? It's a short, black plastic instrument. That was the beginning of my music education. From there, I taught myself how to play the piano a little bit. I taught myself how to play Onward Christian Soldiers. And my sister said, "Mom, give that kid piano lessons. We're tired of hearing Onward Christian Soldiers." In 7th grade, I started piano lessons from a wife of a farmer who lived about 3 miles from us. She was very encouraging. She was a good teacher, and I had good rapport with her. In 8th grade, I started playing hymns for Sunday Mass in our parish church because we didn't have an organist. And the first day I played, as we got home, my mother said, "You played too fast." And I said, "Well, they're going to have to keep up with me." I went to the public high school in Herscher, Illinois. You don't know where that is, probably. It's not the middle of Illinois, it's a little up north. It's about 13 miles west of Kankakee, if you know where Kankakee is. And Kankakee, at that time, when I was growing up, was 70 miles from Chicago. I think Chicago's stretched closer now, but it was at that time. So that's where I grew up. Besides Sunday Masses, all through high school, I played, once I was able to drive, I played for the liturgies at our parish church every morning during the summer months. Do you see what God was doing to me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know it at the time. When I graduated from high school, I went to the Catholic College in Joliet, Illinois, St. Francis, and was taught by mostly Franciscan sisters, which I was not the least bit interested in. I never knew anything about sisters. They didn't mean a thing to me because I didn't ever see them. So I wasn't interested in that at all, in being a sister at all. I'm not like one of these people who said, "Oh, I knew in 3rd grade I was going to be a sister." No, I did not know I was going to be a sister. I graduated from college in 1951 with a degree in music education, and I was able to get a position as music teacher at Little Flower School here in Springfield. How did I get down to Springfield? Well, there was a girl in my graduating class in college who had a sister, a Dominican, and this sister knew that there was an opening down here. I applied and I got the job. I taught with the Dominicans for 1 year. Their joy, their dedication, their compassion, their love, I just fell in love with them, and I became a sister in 1952. And I was professed in 1954. I went back to Little Flower School to teach 3rd grade for half a year, and one of the students at Little Flower School, who had seen me as a lay teacher teaching music went home and told her dad that lay teacher hatched into a sister. I taught grade school for about 25 years as either a full-time music teacher or a part-time music teacher and classroom teacher. Both of those positions, you also did the liturgies in the parish church. So that meant you took care of funerals and weddings. So if you were a classroom teacher, somebody had to take your classroom while you went out to play a funeral. You taught piano lessons after school, Saturdays. Some of those times I even got the noon meal for all the sisters because they had to have their big meal at noon, and the music teacher's music room was in the convent, so it was easy for you to cook the meal and, take care. So I taught. I loved music. It was good. It was hard, but it was good. In the summer times, when you weren't in school, I was fortunate enough to be allowed to go to get my degree in liturgical music and also my master's degree in education. If I wasn't going to school, then maybe I was cooking at a convent someplace where all the sisters were studying. Or many summers I cooked at U of I. We had like 40 sisters getting their master's degree in something. So we rented a sorority house and we cooked in this warm, air-conditioned kitchen. One time we had the fan going so long, and we decided we were breading something in cornflakes. But that was a mistake because you know where the cornflakes went. The fan went going. Anyway, it was fun. I did a lot of cooking at that time. Okay, where was I? High school. Oh, after 25 years, I taught for 5 years at Marian Catholic High School in Chicago Heights, Illinois, again as full-time music teacher. But I didn't teach piano. There wasn't time for that. I taught music, history, choral, did lots of choral work, musicals, encouraged the band members. I didn't have any. Oh, I forgot to tell you about that. Anyway, I taught at Marian Catholic for 5 years. It was a big change from grade school, but it was okay. I liked it. I forgot to tell you, when I was in grade school for 5 years, I had a band at Cathedral Grade School here in Springfield. And I often think back, I wonder how that band really sounded, grade school kids. But they were so excited when they got to play with the band. So by Christmas, they were able to join the band and play their Christmas concert. And they loved it. So for me, it was exciting too, because to see them so excited. The same way with musicals in the high school, to see these young boys and girls up there on stage singing with an orchestra, their dream, for me, it was just a real thrill, a real thrill. After 25 years in grade school and 5 years in high school, didn't they ask me to come to the mother house and be prioress? I'd never been at the mother house, except when I was in the novitiate. I had no idea what went on here. Absolutely, maybe it was a good thing, I don't know. Anyway, I came home with many, it was a hard change for me. But see, you say yes and God takes care of things. I was also liturgist, besides being prioress, Judy. I was also liturgist at that time. I was here for 7 years as prioress. It was a good 7 years. I learned a lot. I loved it after I got going into it. It was wonderful. But when I left here as prioress, they asked me what I wanted to do. Did I want to go on a sabbatical? What did I want to do? No, I wanted to go. We had a retreat center. Am I 10 minutes up? I forgot to look.
Pretty soon.
Okay. We had a retreat center in Riverton, Illinois, which is northeast of here. And it hadn't been set up for too many years. And I said, well, I could go to the retreat center. I could be hospitality lady. I could cook. I could do the liturgies. I could make beds. I could do, whatever needed being done. They were a wonderful 5 years there. I really enjoyed it. I did a lot of cooking. I cooked for week retreats or evening retreats or daytime retreats, whatever we had. It was good. It was fun. After that, I came home and was food service director here at the Mother House for 8 years. I ordered the food, I made the menus, I supervised the workers, I had a wonderful crew of people. In those days, by that time, I skipped something. Anyway, it was for 8 years I did that. During those 8 years, we had the renovation of the Mother House.
Oh.
And of course, the kitchen and the dining room were going to be renovated. Where are we going? Oh, to that big room over there. When you go to Siena Hall, it's under the chapel, Aquinas Center. That room became our dining room, our quilting room, our TV room, our card playing room, whatever. And my wonderful staff said they could cook in a little kitchen across the hall, and I mean a little kitchen. It had been a priest's kitchen where someone cooked for 2 people. A stove, a regular, electric stove, just a regular electric stove. We had 3 ovens, electric ovens that we plugged in when we needed them. And we had 2 little small grills that we did hamburgers or pancakes or whatever we were serving. But we served 3 hot meals every day. Kathleen thinks it was a year and a half. I don't know if it was that long, but it was a long time. When it was hot, because we had lack of refrigeration and freezing place, things like potatoes and oranges and onions and apples were in big plastic bins with lids. If it was cool, they were outside with a lid on so the squirrels didn't eat them. If it was too cold, we brought them in. If it was too hot, they had to go to the air-conditioned rooms in a hallway or over Siena Hall where you're sleeping. Reggie, who's now head of the kitchen, used to say to me, "Sister, where are the potatoes today?" Well, let's see. I think they're up in the room in Siena Hall. We had, things like that. But we did really well for that length of time with the small kitchen, except one time the stove blew up and everybody was home. It was a community meeting day, and my head cook was waiting for me at the end of the chapel when we left prayers and said, "Sister, the stove blew up." And I said, "Oh, is the food ready for dinner?" "Yes, it's ready for dinner. But what do we do tonight?" I said, "I don't know. Let's get dinner over with first." But we did well. We really did, and it was a wonderful time. Okay, I have to leave the kitchen now. Am I finished? No. Well, anyway, I left the kitchen. I was event coordinator after that for 8 years, and I did some work out at Jubilee Farm where you were today. I used to teach some baking and cooking classes out there. Now I just do sit-down jobs. Thank you very much.